Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This morning on the Huddle, we're going to be talking about a phenomenon, something that's taking YouTube by storm. What are we talking about? We're talking about YouTube Shorts. So, do me a favor, grab yourself a cup of coffee. It's time to level up. It's time for the Huddle. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong, where we help you find your passion and purpose on YouTube. If you're new here, we want to welcome you to the Huddle and get yourself a cup of coffee and grab your favorite bagel or a beverage or whatever it is that you do here on the US time. We got a great discussion on YouTube Huddles this morning. Not only do we have a dynamic guest, but as The Rock would say, finally, the Huddle has a returning guest who's coming back, who was on the level of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So when he said he wanted to come back and share about the YouTube Shorts this morning, we had to make way. All the way from London, Mr. Ash Bolin.
Hello, mate. I am super pumped. I love chatting with you. You always make me so happy. That was good.
Hey, sir, we're truly grateful. We want to say good morning to all of you, those of you who are watching us on YouTube. Let us know in the chat where you're watching us from, and to the Huddle community. We want to give a shout out to, because we see some comments coming in. We say good morning to Mr. Joe Hinko, all the way on the West Coast. And then we have last week's dynamic guest, Mr. Paul Andre DeVera. Man, Paul, the last week's live stream is still blowing up. And so we're just getting better this morning. And so, Ash, we're truly grateful. Oh, I'm sorry. To all our replay viewers, good morning to you. Good morning to you. So let's kick this off. Ash, tell our viewers why you began your journey on YouTube Shorts. It's been out a little earlier this year, but why did you begin your journey on YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. So I am big Gary Vaynerchuk fan, so huge Gary Vaynerchuk fan, and I constantly kept listening to Gary Vaynerchuk talk about TikTok, and as ages ago, and I'm always a big believer of early adopters. So I got in on TikTok. I really started using TikTok a lot. Built my following on TikTok. Not great. I mean, I got to about 17,500 and about just under 200,000 likes on TikTok. And I was an early adopter, but I dropped the ball when it came to TikTok because I left it. I was like, there's other places out there that could be really good, and maybe TikTok's not the place for me. And then YouTube Shorts came out, and I kind of toyed with it. I always knew that TikTok Shorts. I always knew that it could be a good idea, but I messed about with it. And every time I messed about with it, I get a couple of views, and then it'd do well, and then it would not. And then, truthfully, like, I was sat back at it because I was listening to all of the big YouTube coaches saying, I don't think YouTube Shorts is here to stay, and all this type of stuff. And then I watched a brilliant interview from Benji and Dean Iman, Benji Travis and Dean Iman. Obviously, Benji's been on your show, and I was waiting for them. It was like the green light. I just was waiting for them to say YouTube Shorts is like TikTok in regards to the way it acts, because I know how TikTok works, but YouTube Shorts, everyone was telling me that it was different. So I was like, okay, to me, it looks like it's the same. It looks like it acts the same. It's not acting like a traditional YouTube rules. And so as soon as I watched that video, which I'd highly recommend your viewers, your listeners, people who are watching this and listen to this, to check that out. Because as soon as I watched that, I was watching it on the premiere when they aired it. I was like, I'm all in. I'm all in on YouTube Shorts now because I missed the boat on TikTok because I just sat by the side, and I believe that as a podcaster, YouTube is the place to be. And YouTube Shorts, in my opinion, without going too deep into it, I'm sure we're going to dive into it in this episode, it is not something you should be sleeping on. So I uploaded 5 a day for the last 30 days, and then me and you are chatting. So yeah, that's been my journey up until this point.
Man, that is tremendous in just a short period of time. And the interview that Ash is talking about over on the channel Video of Influencers with Benji Travis, and as Ash was saying, D Nimmin was on. He's had a couple other individuals that's on. YouTube Shorts is definitely taking YouTube by storm. It's another form of content that we can use within our arsenal as content creators. And so for novelists like myself that are finally starting to say, oh, I need to pay attention to this, what is a YouTube short?
Very simply, it's a vertical video. Think TikTok. Think TikTok, but it's not TikTok. And I think that's very important to kind of stress on the two of those. But it's a vertical video, so it's shot as if it is on your mobile phone, that kind of viewing experience, and it's got to be under 59 seconds. So it's very important. It's up to 59 seconds long. Anything over than that, and it will flip to a normal video. But that's all it is. It's a short video on YouTube. It behaves similar to a lot of YouTube videos, and also different as well. It has a shorts shelf. So if you look on your phone app, on your YouTube app on your mobile phone, there's a section for shorts, and you can, and there'll be what they call a shorts shelf. That's where it's typically viewed. That's where you're going to get these huge surges. But they do also appear in search, which is a massive game changer for a lot of people who are doing YouTube Shorts. So that's in a nutshell what it is.
Definitely similar, like you said, to TikTok, IG Reels, Instagram, but YouTube has its version where it is competing with TikTok. And in my research and from what I've been seeing, and so you've mentioned you've been doing about 5 a day, but for the person that is just getting out the gate like myself, should I be looking at 3 a day, 4 a day? Because also you want, you have to kind of, what I'm learning is you have to kind of look at your strategy. You have to look at in terms of your content of your main channel. So is it 3 a day, 5 a day? What's your recommendation for a new person coming out the gate?
It's really interesting. So great point. This is the thing I've always been sleeping on. TikTok was volume. Volume mattered. It mattered more than anything else when it first started out, because you're creating, you're doing like digital land grab. So the thing that a lot of YouTubers were concerned about, big YouTubers, and I'm not a big YouTuber, that was why it wasn't a concern for me, but like the big YouTubers are concerned about was upsetting their current subscriber base. But really, again, you do as many as you can, but I really do believe that you should be doing 3 a day. And that's what I've moved to now. I've dropped down after doing 5, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, as we go through as to what I've learned. But I would be saying 3 a day, 7 days a week. Now, bear in mind, then that's not a lot of content, really. It might feel like a lot, but it's not. That's a maximum 3 minutes. And it's short, so it doesn't have to be hugely intricate. It's not like it takes you longer to do a normal YouTube video. And so 3 a day, but obviously I'd work my way up at 1 a day. I work with clients who are doing 1 a day and they're seeing good results. But to really see the results that we're seeing, where people are getting like tens of thousands of views on channels that are like under 1,000 subscribers, is really, you have to do more, about 3. Now I moved it to 5 because I knew that I saw 3 working, and I was like, okay, let's see what I can do. I've also done another test right now where I've just dropped 40 in 24 hours to see how that then feeds through. I wouldn't advise you do that, and I've had a few friends mess about with that, but I'm just seeing how that feeds through and how that works as well. Do I gain 20,000 views in a 40-hour period, or does it all just fall down? We're trying to work that out. But I would say that for the beginner, which is me, by the way, on that, then I would be doing 3 a day if you can commit yourself to it.
Definitely. Okay. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion on the new phenomena, YouTube Shorts, do me a favor, give us a thumbs up and click the like button, #value. And so Paul has a question in terms of, doing YouTube Shorts, people trying to find their niche in YouTube. What types of videos, content should be you see doing what types of content do you see doing well in using YouTube Shorts? Is it, tutorials, coaching, tech, food?
So what's doing well on the shorts shelf is definitely like entertainment, funny, like food does very well.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm noticing, obviously, I'm a coach and a consultant, so for me, that's not where I make money. It's not how it generate leads for my business that way, and it's not the line of my content. So you see a lot of people making content outside of their niche because they think they have to, and you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, YouTube Shorts is doing well. There's no rhyme or reason right now, but to make the content you would normally make, but just do it in a shorter time scale. It isn't actually much more difficult than that. One thing I would say is that is more something I'm banking on as time goes on is looking at search. Looking at content around search for your niche using something like Answer the Public. This stuff is probably not going to do well right now, but it could do well right now. You never know. But over time, I think it's a really good bank in building a searchable catalog of shorts, because that's where I think the game will change. So I wouldn't worry about what type of content is doing well. I'd focus on what type of content is right for your channel, for your business, for your brand, and how can you make that fit into a short form format. And that's going to then help your channel grow. It's going to help the people realize that the short form content is similar to the long form content, and it'll do well. If you start to pander to the meta of what is working and doing funny cat videos and things, then I think it'll do more damage than good.
Right. No, definitely. And in my research, one of the questions that I kept hearing about YouTube Shorts is should a existing content creator who has an established channel look to start a brand new channel and start doing shorts, or should they add it within their existing portfolio of content? So I've got quite a bit of different answers from that. But what's your take on that, Ash?
My take is, again, I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of another. But really, my take would be, I think you should put it all in one place. I asked my wife about this. I had the same issues, and everyone seems to have the same issues. I was like, don't I? No, I didn't have a big channel at all. As you know, I'm a podcaster who's trying to make his way on YouTube now, successful in podcasting and trying to migrate them across, which is not as easy as people think. So it wasn't really too much of a concern for me, but I would say realistically, the user experience is the most important thing.
Yes.
And that's what YouTube is always looking at. And YouTube, which people don't get, they'll say you're going to overflood your audience. Well, one thing, I'm quite awkward with this. I don't care if I overflood my audience. It's my channel. If you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. At the end of the day, that's how I see it. I think people care way too much about what their audience needs, as opposed to your content should be good, but you should be, if you want to do 20 videos a day, do it. If that is your true, genuine self, be yourself, and otherwise the wrong message. But I would say that the average person will not, if they're on shorts, you're putting more barriers to entry for them to have to go, okay, now I've got to go and subscribe to your main channel. And so I'm actually a big believer. This is against a lot of what you're seeing a lot of the traditional YouTubers talk about. And it's not me saying this from a YouTube perspective. This is saying this from a user experience, understanding behavioral psychology, which is what a lot of the stuff that I do with clients is behavioral psychology. The more you spread yourself out, the harder it is for the people to go to one place. People go to, you guys have Target, yeah? We don't have that as Tesco's here. People go to Target because it's got everything there.
Correct.
That's why. So if your channel has to be everything, a resource for everything, I would say, around what you do. So I wouldn't dilute it. I'd put it all in one place.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. What comes to mind is like Netflix. Netflix has a category of content where if you want action and adventure, boom, it's right there. If you want thriller, if you want comedy, and so I'm viewing shorts as a way of, okay, you're gonna have a content of shorts. I have the Huddle, which is my live stream. It's sort of just like how YouTube allows us to set up our channel. You can have your most recent videos. You can have uh, most popular videos. Then you have your live streams. Then you have your shorts, and then you have everything. So it's just a matter of organizing it in such a way where it creates a enjoyable experience for the audience. And I think that then answers the argument of, I'm going to upset my audience. I think the only way you're going to upset your audience is you're not creating content that's not consistent with your brand and your message. I think that's where you may do that. What's your thoughts
Yeah,
on that?
100%. Yeah, if you're uploading the wrong type of content for the wrong audience, then yeah, like again, your brand, your decision, you do what you want. But then if I'm following you for content around YouTube and inspirational content, the Huddle, and then you're
Mhm.
showing me your cat videos or your gym workouts, it's not the right thing. Um,
Mhm.
and so I agree with you there. But I also think people don't realize this. I've got a Facebook group called the Creative Astronauts, and we were talking about this. I think you know you're in the group. I think Walter, and if you're
Yes.
not, I'm getting you are. You're
No,
a
I'm
creative
in. I'm
astronaut.
in. I've
I was going to
joined.
say you're in. I've seen you in there a few times. One of the guys in there, Brock, who's a legend, put something to saying. Well, they were asking about it today, and I actually believe that what people don't realize with YouTube, and it's not just YouTube. This is every social platform. They won't let your audience get bombarded with content. So he
Mhm.
put up a photo of all my shorts that I've dropped, and that's interesting. Now he's got that because he's got it on a certain setting to allow it to happen. But YouTube will limit you to 3 notifications from a specific user in a 24-hour period.
Right.
So if you drop 5 shorts, and I was doing 5 shorts and my live stream solo show, you're not getting 6 things. You're only getting 3. And YouTube picks. This is again another thing they didn't realize with shorts.
Mhm.
If you don't consume shorts, if one of your subscribers does not consume a lot of shorts, YouTube doesn't show shorts to them
Correct.
as much. So again, which was in the interview with Benji that we saw, which is the same thing. This is what people need to understand. You can't, if someone has got a habit and a behavior of consuming shorts, then your shorts will be served to them. But if they don't, and they prefer live streams, guess what? Your live streams are going to be served to them. So, and it's the exact same thing on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. It's impossible for the user to be exposed to too much content from you on an
Mhm.
algorithm level, because the algorithm will work out that you don't like it and they'll stop showing you it. So I think we get too caught up in, as you said, like what we should and shouldn't do. The best
Mhm.
thing to do, the best advice you just said is think of your YouTube channel as a TV channel. And,
Mhm.
if you want to dive in there and go absolutely, down the rabbit hole of watching all the Huddle episodes, you can go hours and hours and hours and hours of watching you interview people. That's me. I'm that guy, by the way. I love that. I'm a guy that just sits down and watches interviews. But you also have the people who just want the shorts, and you have the people who
Right.
want the ASQ type stuff. So keep it all in one space.
Definitely. Definitely. And it's interesting, even though we're referencing Netflix, YouTube has over here, and I'm not for sure over in London, in the UK, they have YouTube TV. And
Yeah.
one of the things that they made a real big push over here in the East Coast during the NBA Finals was that the NBA Finals was sponsored by YouTube and YouTube TV, and they were showing this particular commercial of this young lady who was basically in the bathroom watching YouTube TV. She was binging it. People are trying to get her to come out, socialize and fellowship with family members. She said they're knocking on the door. What we need? She says, I'm busy. She says, I'm busy. And what was she busy doing? Binging YouTube TV. And so you're right. Shorts is the type of content where YouTube is only going to show it to your audience and your viewer based on their viewing habits. Now, I've noticed that because I've been watching your shorts, I'm
Yeah,
seeing
more.
them pop up more and more on my homepage. But here's the other thing I've noticed. Because I watch SmackDown wrestling, I watch small clips of that. it shows me more and more of that content as well. So I'm getting a little SmackDown wrestling, but I'm getting shorts by you as well. And so you're right. It's a matter of how you present the content to your viewers that it's a positive experience. This morning, we're talking about 10 tips why YouTube shorts matter in 2021. So, Ash, let's get into these 10 tips here. Tip number one, shorts can be a great way to expose you to a new audience, rather if you're a new or existing creator. Your thoughts on that?
Spot on. But like by far, you the thing I would say with YouTube Shorts as a new creator, me and you are in that new creator phase, you know, under the 1,000 subs. We do what we're told. I follow the rules, I follow the gurus, and all of them have been on my show, so I love them all to pieces. But and you grind out and you gain your subscriber every month, and you keep going. YouTube Shorts flipped that on its head, and like in the last 15 days, I've gained 56 subscribers in the last 15 days. I mean, in the last 30 days, I think it's about 112. And it's not a lot, but it's a lot for people like new creators. And these are all new people and I've got business from it. So 100% YouTube Shorts came along and said to all of us, and I said to people before on a video I did yesterday, it felt like the boat, and we'd missed the boat when it came to YouTube. I said if we felt like we missed the boat as getting that new organic exposure. And I'm here to tell you right now, the boat is back. Get in and start paddling, because it's here. YouTube Shorts are getting exposure at an alarming rate for new creators, and that obviously it's doing really well for big creators as well, because they've got already got the cadence. But for new creators, it's doing incredibly well. So if you're a new creator, if you're under 10,000 subs, you should be. I would be shocked that in 2 years' time, let's see what if you haven't grown and all the other guys who were doing YouTube Shorts are like 40, 50, 60,000 subs because they had that organic boost that they wanted. I won't be shocked if that's the case. Really, I think no creator is too big for Shorts right now.
Right.
Do it. Absolutely.
Definitely. Tip number 2, and this is something I didn't know, because when you are under 1,000 subscribers and you want to live stream on your mobile or smartphone, you can't do that unless you have a third-party app like Prism Live or something to be able to live stream through YouTube or StreamYards, which again, StreamYards is not sponsored here, but we love the platform StreamYard because it allows the Huddle the ease of use and the professionalism to be able to present a great experience for our viewers. And so you don't need 1,000 subscribers to do YouTube Shorts on your smartphone.
It's great.
That's you have to have your app updated, right? Because it allows you to have a YouTube Shorts where you can be able to either upload it within your phone, or you can click upload and then you go right into the YouTube Shorts, do your shorts video. You can do some edits. You can add some captions, and I will just jump into the next tip, which is the YouTube Shorts creation tool that allows you to upload shorts either through their tool or through the upload. Have you tried each of these ways of doing it, and which is a favorite for you of doing, Ash?
Yeah, I've done them both. So before Shorts was like officially released, as in like even though it's still in beta, like you used to be able to get on the Shorts shelf in India if you would upload and put hashtag Shorts and the video was under 59 seconds, you'd get in. I've done all three of them. I used to upload it from my desktop. I have uploaded it directly from my phone. Again, similar thing through the Shorts app, and then I've also created on the Shorts app. Again, I love anything that's going to reduce the friction for content creators, people who are nervous about making content. I love that YouTube Shorts has, like TikTok and like Instagram, which they should have, this ability for you to make it there and then. It's brilliant. If you're looking to make something a little bit more, professional, a little bit more higher quality, a bit higher level, a bit more complex. YouTube Shorts, the actual shooting thing is not great. So I was saying this to you off air, like I actually now I've shot one originally through all my cameras and using all the microphones. I now actually shoot on my mobile phone, but I edit it in a third-party app because it still has that feel of being shot on a phone, that raw feeling, which is what people like. But but I think personally, I use Video Leap, and Video Leap just has a bit more of a professional feel to it. But CapCut is the same; it's another good one as well.
Okay. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion on 10 tips why YouTube Shorts matters in 2021, give us a hashtag value. To those of you who are going to be watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay. Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button. And if you haven't had an opportunity yet to subscribe to the Huddle and to the Walter Strong YouTube channel, we want to encourage you to subscribe and click the alert notification button. So tip number 4, which we kind of overlapped into, you can edit your YouTube Shorts and by adding captions through the YouTube Shorts creation tool. But tip number 5, this is interesting. You can use popular music that's copywritten from YouTube Shorts creation tool that pulls from the YouTube library. What's been your experience with that? Because I've heard some music in your YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, so I use my music, but my music is taken from third-party app again.
Okay.
So I do take mine from stuff where I have the licenses to use it. I have a funny experience with this one. So you can do that. You can do that. You can only do 15 seconds on music right now. I mean, that might change. So if you're watching this in the replay and that's not the case, we know what YouTube comments can be like. You don't have to slam me for it. It's changed. But right now, 15 seconds. And for educational content for me, it's always going to be over 15 seconds. Debatable as to how long they should or shouldn't be. But I would say with that, if you can do it. The issue that came up with TikTok, and I'm only talking about TikTok here because YouTube is behind. TikTok is the place to watch to see where we're going with it. It's just the way it is. And TikTok was brilliant, except the issue you have is that you don't fully. And I remember this. I had a TikTok coach. He works directly with TikTok, guy called Josh Moore, the ginger marketer. And the problem is, and he said this to me when I was working with him one-to-one, is he said, Ash, use your own stuff. He said, never use other people's stuff. I said, well, they got you have the rights. And he said, for now. He said, but you want to control your IP. And so I would say, if you're a guy, or you're a girl out there and you're making content and you're doing it for fun and you just want to have a good laugh, and you use those music. But if you're a business, that's why I do my music's all taken from an app that I use, which covers me for the licenses of it. So I would say if you're doing it for serious commercial use, avoid it. But that is just an opinion, but like it was an opinion given to me by a very, very top level TikTok creator and coach. So yeah, I would say do that.
Okay, definitely. All right. Tip number 6. And I think this is definitely something that works well for a lot of new beginners who are doing YouTube Shorts, where you have vertical content maybe on other platforms that you can repurpose that is under 60 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely. You should. You got to make sure when you do that, you don't have any of the watermarks. So there's nothing worse than looking at a TikTok, like a YouTube video, a YouTube short, and it's got a TikTok logo on it or an Instagram Reels logo on it. So really takes us right back, to what you said about should you use the app or not to record. The reason why I will always record in a third-party app is that I have control of your content, control of your IP. I can then distribute that on all the 3 platforms, which right now is Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Pinterest is also trying to adopt it as well. So yeah, absolutely repurpose it. If you've made it on one, you may as well put it on the others. But I would say YouTube Shorts seems to be, the more and more I'm getting into it in the last kind of month of really being like knee deep in it and everything, is seems to be if you do YouTube Shorts directly for specifically YouTube Shorts, they do better.
Okay. Perfect. But you know what? You said something interesting. I don't know if it was the long form content or within your vertical content where you were talking about language. Whereas
Okay,
if you
yeah.
were on IG Reels, you can't be using words like subscribe and follow. So there's some basic language that's universal. Share with us that your experience on when you've used
Yeah.
the wrong language, what type of experience you've got, and why you feel so strong about using the right language throughout all the platforms.
Yeah, of course. So as a podcaster, so mine's because I'm a podcaster and I'm trying to make the move over to YouTube. And that's always the thing with me is the certain language you say in a specific place. So for example, if you're a podcaster, you say, leave me a review, but then you go into YouTube and there isn't a review platform. So you can't do that. So all of a sudden there's a disconnect.
Mhm.
And I've always been obsessed. That's why I use the word episode. So you'll never hear me say video or podcast. You'll hear me say episode.
Okay.
And I've been obsessed with this. And then Sean Cannell from Think Media, shout out to him, love his content. And
Mhm.
he's a genius at this. And I was in the gym and I was listening to him and he always says, drop a like if you found this valuable. And I'm like, if you're getting value from this. And I'm like, now because of my level of like what I'm an analytical thinker, I was like, this guy's a genius
Mhm.
because he's not said subscribe if you found this useful. He's not said. So I then looked at that and was like, okay, if you look at every one of my videos, it always says drop a like if you found this valuable. And the
Okay.
reason why is because it's universal language that YouTube has likes, TikTok has likes,
Mhm.
Instagram Reels has likes. I use the word share because YouTube shares, Instagram
YouTube has
shares,
shares, right?
they all have shares. I use the word share when I'm in long form because you can share your podcast with somebody, you can share it onto a social media, you can do whatever you want. You can also share on YouTube. So you avoid the words, really avoiding the big ones is don't say follow, don't say subscribe. It's
Okay.
fine if you want to. So this is obviously if you want to. And this is why I say about you might get better traction on YouTube Shorts if you solely make it about YouTube Shorts. Say subscribe if you want to know more because you're making it for that platform. But as soon as the creators, you'll notice this on TikTok, if you put something on there that is for YouTube,
Mhm.
be prepared to be destroyed in the comments because they hate it. They hate it because they're
Mm.
TikTok purists. There's a different audience over there. And so if you start saying subscribe to my to my channel, and people do say, you see YouTubers go on there and they're like, subscribe to my channel. I'm like, oh, understand the culture. That's not
Mm.
the way they are. So language is very important if you want to repurpose. If you don't want to repurpose, say whatever you want. But if you do, like to be honest with you, like if you found it valuable, just copy me because I'm copying Sean. Just do that.
Mhm. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this topic on 10 tips on why YouTube Shorts matters in 2021, give us a hashtag value, hashtag replay, and click the thumbs up button for giving us a like and share. And share. Say, I'm using the right language. I'm using the right
For
language.
YouTube specifically.
Tip number 7, and I didn't hear this as so much as a tip from other YouTube content creators, but it just makes sense. You don't need a whole lot of high expensive gear to do
Nothing.
YouTube Shorts. You can use your iPhone, you can use your smartphone, you can get you a lavalier lapel mic and put yourself in front of a window with some good lighting, and you can go to go.
That's it.
Your thoughts, Ash?
There's not much else to add. That's amazing. Spot on. Like it's one of those things you don't need all the gear, bro. Like just use your phone.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Tip number 8. You can use third-party apps of software for editing on your shorts before uploading them. Have you did both in terms of editing through the creation tool and through, like you said, through the apps? And why? Which one are you more in favor of?
Yeah, so I use I've done them all. I've done all of them. I've edited on my phone, I've edited on the computer, like I said before, and I've used a third party. I am in favor of a specific app which I use, which is this one here called Video Leap. It's the little
Okay.
little. Trying to put it to the camera. It's this little one right on the end,
Okay.
and it's iOS only, I think, but I think they might be bringing something over to smartphones as well. Now, the reason I love that one is it has all you pay for it. It is a paid one. There is a free version, but it's not very good. But the paid one, I bought a lifetime subscription to it, but you can pay yearly, monthly, whatever you want. But that has all the licenses for music. It's connected to story blocks for sound effects. It's connected to, like, it has everything you need as a real creator to do stuff. You know, Giphy for all of like the GIFs and stickers and subscribe buttons. Everything is on it.
Okay.
And so I would say that for me, hands down, the best tool for editing. And I tell you what, if you want to learn how to use Video Leap, the best creator to show you to do that is we spoke about, right, Dean Imman. Dean Imman's
Yes.
pretty much all of Dee's content is around mobile creation, and he has some incredible stuff on Video Leap.
There you have it. Tip number 9, you can use YouTube Shorts as a way of pointing to long-form content that you want to continue the discussion on. You know, and when I thought about this tip, Ash, you know, and we were kind of talking before we went live, I remember when Marvel was really in its heyday of trying to push their movies out to eventually to get you to the end game movie. And so when the Super Bowl would come, they wouldn't show you a trailer. They wouldn't show you a teaser. They would show you a version of shorts and a mini teaser to say the trailer's coming. And then you would go on YouTube and find that little mini teaser trailer, and it would have almost 1 million views on the thing.
Yeah. So smart.
And so I'm finding it does the same thing even with shorts. So if you're talking, you know, 5 tips and strategies of how to become a better podcaster, you could then do a shorts on maybe giving 3 tips and say, hey, if you want the additional tips, you can go over to my long form content, and it's going to benefit you as a content creator because you still have them on platform watching YouTube. So you're getting additional views, not only from the short, but now the long, and they can see the other 5. Your thoughts, Ash?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I was actually watching an interview with Colin and Samir. Love Colin and Samir's content. Shout out to those guys. And they use it the other way around, actually. So they're using shorts to test ideas to see if it works, and then they're making full videos on it, which I've found super interesting because I have used it similar to what you're saying there, which is like a kind of a, how I do my shorts is I do a daily long form show, which is about 15 minutes long, and it's just me breaking down a specific topic into 3 to 4 to 5 different areas. And then what I do is I then film each individual point as a short, and then I distribute it that way, and then I push them all back to the same episode.
Gotcha.
Which it takes about a month, really, because by the time the episode's out, and then it's like a month for the suit to the wait, and then it's like a funneling system. But like this Colin and Samir was saying that, which was focus on shorts first, make the short, and if the short goes well, it gets more than your average one on your channel, then that could be something that we know people want to watch. So it could be a really good testing ground for long form video.
Yeah. Boom. He just dropped the mic on the huddle. He dropped the mic. Tip number 10, you can add in cards or in screens to your shorts, which kind of piggybacks on tip number 9. But I've seen Sean and some of the others who are doing YouTube shorts, and they have their version of an in-card screen. And again, it's continuing to keep the viewer experience going, where you're continuing to have more viewer watching, and where that way they don't get distracted, end up going to another YouTube shorts, because like I said, people there's quite a few people who are still on the fence, but there are people like yourself and myself who are starting to get into it. So you have to have those ways of keeping them watching your shorts and not someone else's.
Yeah, so end screens are interesting. End screens only appear if they appear in search.
Okay.
So they don't appear on the YouTube on the shorts shelf, which is quite an interesting point. So, but it would lead me to say, and this is where I do believe, is I think that YouTube Shorts shelf is just the tip of the iceberg of where this will go, because 50% of my views on YouTube Shorts came from search and browse, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect that. And so I would say with the end screen, they're brilliant because they might not be appearing on the Shorts shelf, which is where it's being served up to like the randomers. They're like the random people that are scrolling through, but the search element of it is powerful because you can keep them going down the loop. And the search element of Shorts is that right now people are a bit funny about it. They don't want to use it. They're a bit nervous because they're like, well, we are not used to the idea of consuming short content on YouTube like that. So if it's not shot in a nice way with a nice thumbnail and all this stuff, then we're very like, oh. But this is why I said about get in the boat and start paddling, because in 2 years' time you'll wish you had, because in 2 years' time, when you search for a specific topic and there's 10 videos come up and 5 of them are shorts, which will happen. I can tell you that right now. It's going to happen. That's when these end screen things are going to pay off. That's when the doing search-based terms of your content is going to pay off, because what would you rather watch? Would you rather watch 15 minutes of someone explaining something or watch it in less than a minute?
Gotcha.
So yeah, so end screens are good, but they're a long-term investment.
Long term, definitely. So let me ask you this final question. This has been a great discussion on 10 tips on why YouTube Shorts matters in 2021. And as a matter of fact, 2022 and beyond, because YouTube has already came out and said they have the YouTube Shorts funds for top creators who are performing well. So they're pushing their chips to the table. They're ready to get in the ring with TikTok and battle to be number one. So from a business perspective, because you said the leads that you were able to generate, what would you say to business owners who are content creators who are on the fence about doing YouTube Shorts? What would be your pitch to them?
Just don't be like, just pull the trigger. I think this is like real talk now, as opposed to like being like a pitch thing. Is if you are like me, and you will be, because me, you, Walter, are the same. Like, is this idea of I'm a content creator, but I'm a new content creator. I'm a business owner first, and everyone, it feels like as a new content creator that going onto YouTube, being able to try and reach those heights of the people we follow, it feels impossible. It does feel impossible. And I'm here to tell you, like, this has made it very possible. And it's called the product adoption curve, this idea about early adopters versus like,
say that again for us in the audience, for the replay. Say that one again.
What, the product adoption curve?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a thing called the product adoption curve, okay? And this thing is, there's 5 elements to a product adoption curve. There is the innovators, which are the people who created it. There are the early adopters, which is around 15%. And then you have the majority, and that's split into early and late majority, about 70%, 35% each. Then you have the laggards, which are the people at the end who are forced to do it because society and change has made it happen, but they don't want to. We always, as humans, want to walk down a path we know has been walked before because we know it's safe. And I'm here to tell you right now that YouTube Shorts is not safe, but it is your opportunity to be everything you think you could be. Whereas if you follow the path that is walked before by all these other YouTube content creators, and they are great, and I love them to pieces, and they've been on my show, you are walking down a method that has already been done over and over again, which means that your competition is just so much harder. And your chances of being successful in it are so much slimmer than they are dedicating 3 videos a day to YouTube, which in 2 to 3 years' time will most likely be the preferred way that people consume content. So do it. And I don't care if you do it or not, because I will be doing it. And I'm going to make sure that Walter's doing it.
Definitely.
So, just do it. I mean, I promise you. And if you want to know about it, you can reach out to me. Like, I'm self-proclaiming myself as the Shorts guy because I truly believe that it is the future of where content's going to go.
There you have it. Want to say what's up to the legend, James Hicks. This man, he is a legend when it comes to technology. And, you know, I give the Apple guys a hard time because I'm more of a PC guy, but he is the Dark Lord Sith of Apple. So we want to give a shout out to Mr. James Hicks.
He's got a great profile picture, because James, I see your profile picture everywhere. Yeah, I see definitely that photo like everywhere. It's very, very good branding.
There he is. There he is. So, hey, Ash, I am truly grateful for you to come on and just give us a class on YouTube Shorts. I'm putting some stuff together, and I don't know if I'm overthinking it. I've sat down and kind of put like 20 topic ideas of what I want to do shorts on, so that way I can just sit down and just batch out some content.
Yep.
Versus, one school of thought is just get up and do it. But at the same time, because like you were saying, maybe doing 3 a day in terms of that flow of content, but at the same time, sticking to my long form content, sticking to the Huddle live streams. So that's the reason why I'm trying to get up to about 30. And then I'm just going to pull the trigger and just start uploading those. And then the process of just doing that over again versus
just do one a day, Walter. Just do one a day for now. I'm telling you, do 30 a day, but the 3 a day, but just do one a day. One a day is better than like, I would say do one a day and I call it delayed release approach. This is, you guys need to do one a day, but release it in a week's time. So whatever you're making today, you're making for a week today. And that means, that means that in a week's time or 2 weeks time, and if you do it so far, you do 2 weeks, it's not a big deal. That means that in 2 weeks time, you're 2 weeks ahead.
Okay.
Because once it starts to come, and that's how I did mine, because I knew I was going to go after it. I took a week out of doing shorts and did it. One a day is so much, but you're still putting out 7 videos. You're still putting out like 31 videos on a long month. If you're doing one a day, so much more. Like, I think the one a day will have really good results, but I when I'm talking about 3 a day, it's the working up to 3. Because the 3, but you're looking at 3 is going to give you, it's like 93 videos a month on top of everything else you've done. But one a day, you're doing the right thing. With shorts, less is more. One topic, don't do 5 tips on how to do this, or just one thing. Just explain one thing in very clear and very powerful way. Don't do 7 tips to make this doesn't work. Just explain one bit of tech, explain one bit of how to do YouTube, explain one bit about how to start a business, explain, and just go to that. Now, there's loads of other ways to do it, but yeah, that's what I would say. But just do one a day, mate, as of today.
Okay. All right. I got my marching orders, and you're gonna see some YouTube shorts that's coming soon. And I'm not talking about 30 days, coming soon in the next couple of days. That's why I had to bring Ash on, so that way I can get everything right. Ash, man, thank you so much. All the way from London, the Queen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ash, where can our viewers get more information? It's already in the description, but kind of let our viewers know if they need to get in contact with you or need some coaching for content marketing.
Yeah, of course. Best place to go is ashborland.com, or search, if you want to watch my YouTube stuff, which is all the shorts, just Ash Borland on YouTube, and you're going to find me there. Everything is on the website, which is just ashborland.com, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. To my replay viewers, thank you so much for watching the replay. Give us a hashtag replay, and those of you who have been watching us live, those of you in the Huddle community, and all the new subscribers this week, we want to welcome you to the Huddle community. Question of the day: are you doing YouTube shorts on your YouTube channel, and how are you incorporating it a part of your YouTube strategy to make sure you're getting great value to your audience? Drop down in the comment section or the chat and give us your feedback to this question. And if you have truly gotten value week after week of great guests coming on. If you haven't had an opportunity yet, we want to encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and take this journey with us. Take this journey with me and Ash as we climb the mountain of providing great content day by day, week by week, month by month. And so we're going to get on out of here. When again, we want to thank the content marketing podcast host guru, Mr. Ash Bortland, for coming on the Huddle. And so we're going to get out of here. As we close out, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail in your life. Make a quality decision today and allow God's purpose to prevail in your life. We will see you next week on the Huddle.